Parsons Brinkerhoff, a major international transportation engineering firm, and was founding president of a subsidiary technology consulting company. Based on my audience with Bloomberg, I assumed that he and his team were not on the hunt for someone to ride out the rest of the term with little change or controversy. They wanted a commissioner who understood government architecture and the elements of transportation, but with a private sector metabolism that thrived on ideas and innovative approaches to problems. Glancing around the table as the interview continued, I did not sense much interest in these ideas. I was even more certain that my appointment would never happen. I misjudged. Bloomberg offered me the job after a second meeting, a breakfast of slightly burned toast and coffee at Viand, his favorite local diner on the Upper East Side. I discovered the reason there wasn't more palpable enthusiasm in the room when I first interviewed. The crux of this city-altering approach was already being codified into Plan YC, a long-range sustainability plan guided by Dan Doctoroff, the visionary deputy mayor for economic development. Plan YC had not yet been unveiled to the public, explaining why the mayor and his team didn't react to the various proposals that I had put forth during the interview. Plan YC was a detailed 127 initiative blueprint for urban sustainability, unlike anything New York or any big city had ever seen. It stated a goal of reducing carbon emissions by 30%, while improving the efficiency and quality of life in New York City neighborhoods and business districts. It also took the unusual step of laying the groundwork needed to accommodate the 1 million more New Yorkers expected to live in the city by 2030, which would have a profound impact on the operation and allocation of resources of every city agency. And it was the first articulation of a vision that would require changing the basic design and use of city streets. For transportation, it demanded new strategies, like developing networks of rapid buses and bike lanes, bringing open space into every neighborhood in New York City, and using less energy and more sustainable materials in the construction of streets. Plan YC was a manual to rewrite the existing street code and overcome the myth that New York was an ungovernable city, a place where the status quo would always prevail. This new vision came into focus as a growing advocacy movement hit critical mass, spurred by transportation alternatives, the Tri-State Transportation Campaign, the Straphangers Campaign, and political outsiders who often understood the goals of government more keenly than many people in office. With the release of Plan YC, the advocates suddenly found an administration proposing traffic solutions beyond traffic signs and signals and dedicated to safety, efficiency, and transportation investment based on data. Bloomberg introduced me to reporters and to the New York City public at a press conference on April 27, 2007, 1 week after Plan YC was announced. "Don't fuck it up," he whispered to me after we finished our remarks. He was only half kidding. I didn't realize at the time that it was a piece of advice he gave all his appointees. Back in New York City's Department of Transportation, after a long hiatus, I knew that the agency influenced more than just traffic. New York City has 6,300 miles of streets, 12,000 miles of sidewalks, more than 1 million street signs, 12,700 intersections with traffic signals, 315,000 streetlights, 789 bridges, and the Staten Island Ferry, which moves 22 million people annually. Streets comprise 25% of the city's landmass, making the Transportation Commissioner the largest real estate developer in the city. The agent's chief mission is managing the hardware and responding to the daily emergencies that wreak havoc on it. New York City's Department of Transportation, DOT, with a headcount hovering around 4,500 employees, is larger than the transportation departments for many American states. Instead of rural roads and highways, New York's portfolio contains some of the most valuable, dense,